Kicking off the round robin for Android Central, we have the iPhone 3G. As you can see, the volume buttons and the ringer silence switch. Also, there's a lock button, a SIM card port, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. The camera is solid, decent. There's a glossy Apple sign, of course, and the overall build quality is very nice. There's one button on the face of the screen. You slide to unlock. Press the button back to unlock, and well, just take a look at the build quality. As you can see, it's very, very thin, and the build quality is very superb. Give it a knock to see how it feels. Let's take a look. The fingerprints will always be an issue with such a glossy screen. You can't see it on the camera, but fingerprints will always be there. Let's compare it to the G1 really quickly. As you can see, the, the screen of the iPhone is bigger, and it's a glossy versus matte finish. Well, this isn't really a comparison, so we'll just stick with the iPhone. The iPhone 3G, let's take a look how it works. The icons are very well made. They're clear. You know what each application does. As you can see, I've downloaded a ton of apps through the App Store already. It's a very easy process, even for the novices. Let's take a look at the clock feature of the iPhone 3G. As you can see, all the buttons are on the screen layout, so there's no physical buttons. It's just buttons pop up when they need to pop up. You can just give it a quick flick, and it works like magic, really. Also, we can take a look at the maps feature to see how multi-touch works in the maps. This is something that Android is severely lacking, multi-touch. I've already fired up the map, and just as you can see, just simply spread your fingers and you can basically zoom in very intuitively, very nice. You know, there's no need for a static zoom button or zoom out button. It's basically a pinch and pull factor. Exiting maps is easy. You just press the home button. That goes to say for every application on the iPhone. To exit, you just press the home button. We can also fire up a quick game. I've downloaded a couple already, and they seem to be fun, and most of them are free, actually. Let's take a look at Block Classic. That's a Brick Breaker-esque game for the iPhone. I've already started the game, so we can just restore. The controls are all on screen. You just basically put your finger on the screen and move it to where you want the little Pong reactor to move with you. The graphics are fluid, the physics are on point. It's a really great game. You should give it a try. Quickly sliding back to the home screen. We can take a look at the form factor again. It's a plastic as opposed to the original's metal, aluminum actually. Comparing it to the original iPhone, we can see that the iPhone 3G has more curves to it, and I feel like it's a overall better move than the original form factor. The thinness is pretty much the same. Luckily, we have the 3.5mm headphone jack. Taking a look at it, it really feels really well in my hands. I can't imagine a better feeling device. Oh, I've activated some weird stuff. Let's take a look at the calendar. The calendar, well, it works as well as any calendar should, but it doesn't have the weekly view, which I prefer. It's definitely a big gripe in my book. The calculator is a basic calculator, but when you turn it horizontal, the accelerometer activates a scientific calculator with scientific functions. I think it's a very neat feature that Android should definitely look into. Overall, I feel really good about the iPhone 3G. It has a very Apple feel to it with great build quality and a very intuitive user interface. I really like what I'm seeing from the iPhone. I think Android has a lot to look up to. Taking a look at the web browser, which is even better than the Android web browser, mobile Safari. We can quickly go to, let's go to Android Central, yeah? Well, okay. Now we're on our way. So we'll activate Android Central. 3G works very fast. It's faster than the G1 from what I've experienced. It's on Wi-Fi right now. Edge is predictably slow, obviously. It's running a little slower right now. I'm not really sure why, but Android Central is loading, and you can see that it's beginning to shape out to exactly what it looks like on a desktop. Again, the mobile Safari has an advantage on the G1 because it supports multi-touch. Also, the smart alignment of double tapping really works. I found it to be useful and instantly readable when you double tap. Also, again, with multi-touch, you get the benefit of a very intuitive browsing experience. Again, spread the fingers to zoom in, and then pull back, pinch out to zoom out. It's a very, very intuitive overall phone. I'm very impressed by it, and stay tuned for Android Central for the rest of the full review of the iPhone 3G.